Welcome back everyone to the Blender Creator course, Stylized 3D models, and this is where we left it off. Alright, so now let's think about putting our chimney on and putting our wall on. I think, first of all, the best thing to do is to put our wall on, make these wooden bits, parts, and then we can actually copy those, some of those onto the other side. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to press Shift D. I'm going to drag this up then, put this into place, and then what I'm going to do with these two here is I'm going to come in, I'm going to put it onto shading first, material, and then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab, when it loads up, both of these, so both of these vertexes, right click, merge vertices at center. So then it's going to merge them at the center like so, and then of course I want to actually unwrap this. So instead of it being like that, I actually want to press U, unwrap, and then it hopefully should look right, which it does. Okay, so now I've got all that, I can pull this now a little bit forward, like so, and then what I can do is I can press Shift D and drag it all the way to the back, like so. And then what I can also do, while I've got all of this part here, I might as well grab this part here, Shift D, and bring that also to the back here, just to get that into place of something where it's going to be, you know, already done for us. Might as well bring it in. Okay, so that's that. Now what I want to do is I want to actually come in and fix these wooden planks, because we've got all this on. They're not actually beveled or anything like that. So what I want to do is I want to first of all apply the modifier. So I can press Ctrl A over there, and then what I can do is I can add in another modifier, which will be a bevel. I'm going to just put it onto object mode just so I can see what I'm doing. I'm going to turn the bevel down then, turn it up 1. Let's have a look at that. Yeah, and I think that's going to be absolutely fine like that. And then what I can do is I can come in now, U, Smart UV Project, click OK. And then what I can also do now I've unwrapped it is I can join this with this wood. So I can press Ctrl L, link materials, and there we go. Now we just we can see we've got a little bit of a problem here, as we always have. You will see that if I go into this now, press the tab button, this is the reason why we've got this. So let's actually come in and straighten this up. So I'm going to just move this over here, move this one over here, and then what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to straighten this up. So I think I'll grab the front, this one here first, Control click, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click and I'm going to straighten, and then I'm going to grab this one and this one, right click and straighten, and I'm hoping that's actually straightened. I'm just wondering which one that's actually straightened out. So let's have a look. It's probably the back of it instead. Let's have a look at this one. I think these actually, let's have a look. Is it this one? Is it any of these? None of these are moving at the moment. So let's have a look. There we go. So this, oh, it's a mirror. That's why. So yeah, let's grab these two. Right click, straighten. Let's grab these two. Right click, straighten. And there we go. Now that's looking a tons better. Okay, so I was wondering, why aren't they straightening out? Let's make them a little bit smaller. Let's have a look what they look like. Absolutely fine now. And now what I can do is I can actually press Control A, and then I can come in again, grab this one, and then press G. Just move it to the side a little bit, like so. Maybe not have this big black mark down there. Let's try put it somewhere else. Yeah, like that. And then what I can do is I can actually grab this one, and then grab this one. And then what I can do is actually, because we've not done a bevel on this or anything, yeah, we've not got any bevel, I'm basically going to just grab this one, and I'm just going to press Shift D, duplicate it, and then just move it over into place over here, rather than actually recreating it again. It's just going to hold Shift, drop it into place, and then grab the other one. So this one, delete, Alt H, bring it back, and there we go. All right, so that's looking good. Now let's think about our top up here and our chimney. So if I come in, I've got my cursor there, so I can just press Shift A, bring in a cube, and then I can bring this cube out. I can make it smaller then, and put my chimney on where I actually want it to be. So I think it's still going to have to be much smaller than this actually. It's way too big at the moment, and I think my chimney wants to realistically be probably this sort of size. I'm going to drag it down now, so I'm just going to pull this down, take off proportional editing, drag this down, and I want to be probably just under there like so. And I think actually that is out enough. I think I need to make it a little bit higher, like so. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to press E, S, pull it out, and then E, pull it up, and then grab the top of it, press the I button to insert, and then finally what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it down now. So I'm going to press E, bring it down. You can see that the problem is that it's going, you know, in there like so, but we're just going to press S and pull it back below there because no one's ever going to see in there anyway, so we're not going to worry about it. The one thing I think like to do though is just bring it up just so we can't see that empty space in there. So I'm just going to press tab and bring up this just to cover those parts of the roof like so, and now we can't see and it looks pretty nice. Alright, so let's now get some materials on this because then it will make it much easier to have a visual of what this is going to look like. So I'm going to press edge select, alt shift click, right click, mark seam. I'm actually going to come in and mark the seam on the bottom as well. So select this one, Control E, mark seam, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come around the back. And the reason I'm marking seams on this is because of the fact that it's going to have a brick texture and we want it to go all the way around. So right click, mark seam. In other words, I want a little bit more control of this. Next thing I want to do is Control A, all transforms, right click, set origin to geometry, and finally add in a generate and a bevel. Turn the bevel all the way down, turn it up 1. And I think, yeah, that's smoothed off enough now. That's perfect. And now what I want to do is I want to actually use this brick texture. So this brick texture, if we go into this, it's called broken walls. So we have broken walls and we have dark stone. So let's come into our brick, and what I'm going to do is click the down arrow. I'm going to bring in broken walls first. I'm then going to click the plus button, down arrow, and then dark stone. So now we've basically got both of those materials ready to use. Let's now come in, and what we'll do is we'll grab this part, and then I'm going to press 1. I'm going to press U, unwrap, and then I'm going to come over, A, R, 90, spin it round. And finally then, I just want to make sure that this is the same size as these bricks here. So just you can eye them and see roughly they're actually the same size. So I got lucky there. Also, if we look here now, we can see because the way I unwrapped it, it's unwrapping really nicely going all the way around here. And even on this bit, you'll see there's a little bit of kind of jarringness on there. You can actually fix that by pressing G and X and then just moving it around a little bit like so, and that then will fix some of that as well. Okay, so happy with that. Now let's come to the top part, and the top part is going to be much easier because all you need to do is U, Smart UV Project, click OK, and then all we're going to do is assign the dark stone like so. Now the one thing I think is I've gone a little bit too crazy on how far I've brought it out, but that's an easy fix. All I can do is I can select them going all the way around, press Alt S, and then I can bring them in to how far out I want them, like so. And then I'm also going to go on the inside and then Alt S and bring them in like so. And there you go. You can see we had a lot of control over there. Okay, so the next thing then, what we want to do is we want to do the top part. So the top part that's going to go along here. Now we want to make sure that it keeps within the within this brick. We don't want them going on the outside. So what do I mean by that? First of all, I'm going to press Shift A. I'm going to bring in a plane. So I'm going to bring in a plane. I'm going to set this then. So S and X to where I actually want it. So something like this. I'm going to pull it then back to my wall. Sorry, my chimney. And then I know that I need to make it thinner. So S, X, bring it in. And then I'm going to pull it up just so it's on top of those. And then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pull it back a little bit just so it's starting in the right place. So just before. And then I'm going to come in, grab the edge of here. And I'm going to put it all the way just so it's slightly over the edge of here like so. So slightly over like so. Now what we want to do is we want to bring in some edge loops, but we want to make sure that they look pretty random. So what I'm going to do is Control R, left click, bring it up, Control R, left click, bring it over. We can see now we're getting some randomness already. So Control R, like so. Just to make some little bit of randomness, like so. And then Control R, nothing, 2 more. Oops, Control R, like so. Yeah, and I think that's looking good. Now what we can do is we can split these off. So select every other one. Actually, I'll show you a way of doing that actually. You can select all these. You can come to select them. And we can go to checker, deselect, and it'll just select every other one for you. Now you can press Y and just separate them off. If you press the G key now, you'll see they're all separated. Right click, drop them back in place. And now what you can do is you can press A, and then we can extrude them up. So E, let's extrude them up like so. Now the next thing we need to do before doing anything else is, we just want to come in to, let's say, just this one. And then all I want to do is just lift them up and randomize them a little bit. We want them relatively straight, but we want them to be picked up a little bit. So I'm just going to come in and pick some of them up, pull some of them down. So like this one here, and just make them a little bit uneven, because at the moment there was too even. Now it's very, very slight that you're going to do this. You don't want to go too crazy with it. So let's grab both of these actually. Like so, and then let's grab the last one, pull it up like so, and there we go. That's going to look really nice. Now let's come in, and what we'll do is now we'll just quickly bevel these off. So I'm going to come to the modifiers tab, Control A or transforms, right click, set origin to geometry, add modifier, generate, bevel, turn the bevel all the way down, turn it up 1, and that's going to look absolutely fine, I think. And then finally we're going to come across to our material, click the down arrow, and we're looking for dark stone, and then all I need to do is press A, U, Smart UV Project, click OK, and there we go. That was really fast. Let's have a quick look at what we're actually looking like now, and there we go. You can see that's looking absolutely fantastic. The one thing, yeah, actually the bottom of there actually came out pretty nicely as well, so I'm happy with that. Everything on there is looking really nice. So what we'll do now on the next lesson is we'll get the wood in here. We'll get the wood in this part here, and then what we can do is we can actually use this and actually bend it a little bit, which you're going to see, which is a lot of fun actually on the next lesson. All right, everyone. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.